In the fast-paced world of politics, where headlines change by the hour and new faces constantly emerge, it's rare for one individual to truly capture the nation's attention. Yet, some stories stand out, stories that make you pause, take notice, and wonder what's really happening behind the scenes. Elise Stefanik, a name that has become increasingly familiar in households across America, has been a prominent and sometimes polarizing figure in Washington, D.C., representing upstate New York for nearly a decade. Her journey has been anything but ordinary. At just 41 years old, Stefanik rapidly rose through the Republican ranks, breaking barriers as one of the youngest women ever elected to Congress. She became House Republican Conference Chair, the number 3 leadership position in the House, a remarkable achievement for someone so early in their career. Known for her sharp political instincts, media savvy, and close ties to Donald Trump, Stefanik became a key messenger for her party. She was often seen shaping Republican strategy, defending party positions, and speaking on national television, where her soundbites frequently made headlines. Her transformation from a moderate newcomer to a fierce MAGA defender made her both a fascinating and controversial figure. Supporters praised her loyalty and tenacity, while critics questioned her political evolution and motives. When she announced her campaign for governor of New York, many saw it as the next logical step in her ambitious career. Her rallies drew crowds, and her supporters believed she could reshape the state's political landscape. But then, in a move that stunned even her closest allies, Stefanik abruptly withdrew from both the governor's race and politics altogether. The news sent shockwaves through the political landscape, leaving many to speculate about the reasons behind her decision. Why would a politician on such a clear upward trajectory, with national recognition and growing influence, suddenly step away from it all? Was it personal, political, or something else entirely? This isn't just a New York story. It's a reflection of the current state of the Republican Party, the enduring influence of Donald Trump, and the immense personal pressures that come with a life in the political spotlight. Elise Stefanik's decision marks the end of a significant chapter for her and the GOP, raising questions about the party's future direction and the cost of political ambition. Allies and opponents alike are left wondering what her departure means for the future, not just for Stefanik, but for the ever-evolving landscape of American politics. The news broke abruptly, catching even seasoned political observers off guard. On December 19, 2025, Elise Stefanik stunned everyone by suspending her campaign for governor of New York, a race she had been favored to win. In the same breath, she announced she wouldn't seek re-election to Congress, bringing her decade-long House career to an unexpected close. This wasn't a calculated move to another office or a temporary retreat. It was a complete exit from elected office, a rare and decisive step. Stefanik had been the leading Republican candidate, raising millions, drawing national attention, and securing major endorsements from party heavyweights. To pull the plug so suddenly signaled a profound shift in her life and ambitions, leaving many to wonder what prompted such a dramatic decision. The timing was notable, following months of mounting challenges in her campaign, shifting alliances, and growing tensions within her own party. Instead of a final campaign push, she delivered a full stop, leaving supporters and critics alike in disbelief. Her statement was unequivocal. She would finish her term, then step away from public office, choosing to become a private citizen after years in the national spotlight. For her supporters, it was a deep disappointment, a sudden end to a promising trajectory. For her opponents, it brought a sense of relief and opportunity. High-profile politicians rarely make such a clean break at their peak, especially when their influence is still growing and their future seems bright. The announcement sparked immediate questions and intense speculation. Why now, when so much seemed within reach? What happened behind the scenes to prompt such a sudden departure? Was it personal, political, or something else entirely? And what does this mean for the future of the Republican Party she helped lead, and for the broader political landscape in New York and beyond? The political world was left searching for answers, as one of its brightest stars stepped away from the spotlight, leaving a legacy and a mystery behind. In her statement, Stefanik cited 2 main reasons for stepping away: family and political pragmatism. She emphasized her role as a mother to a young son, saying the personal cost of a statewide campaign was too high. Beyond family, she spoke of pragmatism, recognizing the difficulty and cost of a divisive primary. By stepping aside, she argued, she was allowing the party to unite and focus on the general election. Stefanik faced a primary challenge from Bruce Blakeman, and a bruising fight could have weakened the GOP's chances. Her exit was framed as a sacrifice for party unity. But many believe these reasons only tell part of the story. Years of political battles and recent disappointments had taken a toll. The official explanation offered a graceful exit. But the real story is more complex, one of ambition, loyalty, and the hard realities of politics. Stefanik's departure is a reminder that personal and political pressures often collide behind the scenes. To understand Stefanik's decision, you have to look at her political transformation. When she arrived in Washington in 2015, she was a moderate, Harvard-educated Republican, seen as a fresh face and policy-focused conservative. But with Trump's rise, Stefanik pivoted, becoming one of his most vocal defenders. Her loyalty paid off. She ousted Liz Cheney to become House Republican Conference Chair, cementing her status in the Trump-aligned GOP. Stefanik's national profile soared, but her identity became tied to Trump. This alliance propelled her career, but also made her dependent on his support. Her political strategy was built on being a loyal Trump warrior. That loyalty brought both rewards and risks. As Trump's influence shifted, so did Stefanik's fortunes. Her journey shows how quickly political identities can change in today's GOP, and how closely those identities are tied to the party's most powerful figures. Donald Trump's role in Elise Stefanik's political rise can't be overstated, and his actions were central to her eventual exit from the race. From the very beginning, Stefanik's alignment with Trump shaped her public image and opened doors that might have otherwise remained closed. She became a fixture at his rallies, a trusted surrogate, and a vocal defender of his policies, earning her a reputation as one of his most steadfast allies in Congress. For years, Stefanik's loyalty to Trump was unwavering, and her campaign for governor was built on the expectation that his endorsement would propel her to victory. Her team believed that Trump's support would energize the base and silence her critics, making her the clear frontrunner in a crowded field. But when the moment of decision arrived, Trump stayed neutral, refusing to back either Stefanik or her opponent Bruce Blakeman. Reporters pressed him for answers, but he sidestepped the questions, leaving both camps in suspense. Without Trump's support, Stefanik lost her main advantage and the core of her campaign narrative. The energy and momentum she had counted on began to fade, and doubts crept in among her supporters. Earlier, Trump had nominated her for UN ambassador, only to withdraw the nomination, citing party strategy. This reversal was a blow to Stefanik's ambitions and signaled that her fortunes were tied to Trump's shifting priorities. These setbacks exposed the risks of building a career on loyalty to one figure. Stefanik found herself isolated, her political future suddenly uncertain. When she needed Trump most, he withheld support. The silence was deafening, and the message was clear. Loyalty in politics is rarely a two-way street. The lack of endorsement was a public blow, undermining her campaign and likely influencing her decision to withdraw. Her staff and volunteers, once energized, now faced the reality that the campaign's central promise had evaporated. Stefanik's experience is a cautionary tale about the dangers of tying your fate to a single political leader. In the unpredictable world of politics, alliances can shift overnight, and yesterday's ally can become today's obstacle. In the end, her loyalty was not enough to secure her future. The very connection that once elevated her career ultimately left her with few options when it mattered most. The Trump factor giveth and taketh away. For Stefanik, it was a lesson in the volatility of political alliances and the high cost of unwavering loyalty. And for Stefanik, it ultimately took away her path forward, leaving her to reflect on what might have been if that crucial endorsement had come. Even with Trump's endorsement, Stefanik faced a steep climb in deep blue New York. Polls showed Governor Hochul with a commanding lead, 19 points ahead. Stefanik's MAGA brand energized the base but alienated the broader electorate. Trump's unpredictable moves, like praising NYC's mayor, undercut her campaign strategy. Facing a tough primary, poor polling, and a hostile political landscape, Stefanik saw the odds stacked against her. Her withdrawal was a pragmatic admission. This was a fight she couldn't win. Stefanik's exit upended the New York GOP. She was the clear frontrunner, with broad party support and national recognition. Now, Bruce Blakeman is the presumptive nominee, but he's little known outside Long Island. The party lost its star candidate and must rally behind a relative unknown. This sudden shift leaves Republicans scrambling to build a statewide campaign. The GOP's hopes for a comeback in New York look dimmer than ever. Stefanik's departure created a vacuum and a sense of disarray. Stefanik's decision is part of a larger trend: Republican lawmakers leaving Congress amid frustration and turmoil. Other high-profile exits, like Marjorie Taylor Greene's, signal deeper issues within the party. The House GOP is divided, with infighting and legislative gridlock. As conference chair, Stefanik tried to manage the chaos, but her exit is a vote of no confidence in the party's direction. Losing experienced leaders weakens the GOP ahead of the 2026 midterms. The wave of departures highlights internal strife and a lack of faith in leadership. Stefanik's exit is a powerful sign of the challenges facing House Republicans. Stefanik's departure ends an era and opens a new chapter for her and New York politics. The GOP is left with a weaker candidate and fading hopes for a resurgence. Nationally, her exit is a loss for Republican leadership and diversity. At 41, Stefanik is unlikely to disappear. She'll focus on family and likely find roles in consulting, media, or business. A political comeback isn't out of the question. This could be a strategic retreat. By stepping away now, she avoids defeat and escapes dysfunction. Her story is a lesson in ambition, loyalty, and the unpredictability of politics. In the end, Stefanik's exit reminds us: in politics, nothing is guaranteed, and the future is always unwritten.